Hello everyone and welcome back. In this lesson we are going to start to introduce the notion of Angular pipes. So what exactly is a pipe? A pipe is a template mechanism that we can use to transform data and display it in another form to the user. Let's give a concrete example. Let's add here a very common type of data, which is a date. Let's add here a start date at the level of our application component. And for the sake of this example, let's quickly instantiate the date using the date constructor. So we are going to add here the 1st of January of 2000. So the months are 0 based and the days of the month are 1 based. So this corresponds to the 1st of January of 2000. Let's say that we would like to display this date here at the level of our template. We're going to quickly add here a small container where we are going to try out multiple pipes. We're going to add here a CSS class called demo, and we're going to start quickly adding here some data. Let's add here the start date, for example, that we have available here from the component and see how this gets displayed on the screen. So if we refresh here the application, we are going to see that our start date looks like this. This is not very helpful for the user. This is not the typical way that we want to display a date. In order to better display the data to the user, let's apply here an Angular pipe using the following syntax. We add this vertical bar here, and then after it we add here the name of the pipe that we want to apply, in this case the date pipe. Let's quickly see this in action. So as you can see, what we have now in the template is a properly formatted date string. What happened here is that the pipe is essentially a function that is going to take as input the start date, and it's going to give us as output this formatted string that we have here. This pipe here, which is essentially a function, can take several arguments. So for example, what we have here is a default format for a date, but we can specify our own format, let's say, that separates the month and the year with a slash instead of having here a comma and a space. So we can apply here a parameter to our pipe by applying here a colon, and then between quotes as a string, we are going to add here the formatting that we want. We are going to say that we want first the month, then the day, and then we're going to say that we want the year with only 2 digits. So as you can see, we have here the date correctly displayed. Now let's say that we want 4 digits for the year instead. We have here 2000 as expected. And let's say that instead of this format, we would like to show here a string for the month. So January, February, etc. In order to do that, we apply the following format here with 3 M's instead of 2. And if we refresh this, we are going to see that we have here January 1st, 2000. So now we have a string instead of digits for the month as expected. If by some reason our pipe needs multiple arguments, then we can pass them by separating the multiple arguments with another colon. We will see examples of that in a moment. So this is the date pipe. It's very useful for displaying dates, as we can see. There are several other built-in pipes in Angular core. Let's have a look at them. Besides the date pipe, we also have other pipes that are available for string formatting. Let's create here a member variable called title, which is going to correspond to the title of the first course of our list. Let's go back here to the list. So the title is going to correspond to this string here, Angular Core Deep Dive. As you can see, this is title cased. Let's make it a normal sentence without capitalization first. So going back here to our example in our application component, we're going to see that we have here a couple of pipes available for formatting strings. We are going to first start by simply printing the title out. So as you can see, we have here Angular Core Deep Dive. Let's now see what happens if we apply a couple of built-in pipes. We have, for example, the uppercase pipe that, like one would expect, simply takes the string and makes it all uppercase. Another pipe that is related to this one is the lowercase pipe that will as the name implies, make the whole string lowercase. We also have the built-in title case pipe. Like the name implies, the title case pipe is going to capitalize only the first letter of each word. Besides the pipes for formatting strings, we also have a built-in pipe for formatting number amounts. So if we head over here to our component, we are going to add here a new variable called price, and we're going to assign it the value $9.99. Let's now see the multiple options that we have available for displaying this price on the screen. For that, the pipe that we are going to be using is going to be the number pipe. Let's try it out. So as you can see, if we don't pass in here any extra arguments, we are going to have the number just like it is displayed on the screen. But the number pipe can take several arguments. So the first argument is going to be the minimal number of integer digits. So in this case, let's say that we want a minimum of 3 integer digits here left of the comma. Then we can also provide here the number of minimal fraction digits. Let's say that we have a minimum of 3 digits and a maximum of 5 fraction digits. We need to add here a colon so that this string here is considered an argument passed to the number pipe. So if we try this out, we are going to see that indeed we have here 3 integer digits and we have here 3 fraction digits as expected. 5 would be the number of maximum digits in case that we would provide here more digits. With this formatting, if our price has a bit more than 5 digits, then what is going to happen is that our fraction part is going to get rounded to a maximum of 5 fraction digits. This pipe is ideal for formatting any numeric amount in general, but if we want to format a price in a currency, then we also have available another pipe, which is the currency pipe. So let's have a look here. If we apply it without any argument, we are going to see that it defaults to US dollars, and we can see that this price here was rounded to 2 digits. Now let's say that we want to display another currency instead of US dollars, let's say euros. We are going to see that we have here the correct currency symbol applied, and the same goes for any other currency. When we are displaying numeric amounts, another very common use case is when we have to display a percentage. Let's say that we have here a new member variable called rate, and this corresponds to a percentage, let's say of 67%. We can display this here on the screen in the following way. We are going to take the rate member variable and we are going to apply it the percent built-in Angular pipe. So as we can see, our percentage is correctly displayed on the screen as expected. Besides pipes for formatting strings or numeric amounts, we also have built-in pipes available for handling collections of data. For example, we have the built-in slice pipe that will allow us to slice an array in a similar way to what we would do with the JavaScript array slice operator. So here is how the slice pipe works. We are going to apply it here to our courses collection, and we are going to slice only the first 3 elements of our array. So the first element that we want to include, it's going to be the element 0, which corresponds to this card here, and the second argument that we're going to pass to the slice pipe is going to be the end index that we want to slice. So we should expect to see here the cards 0 and 1, but not the card 2, so the final index here is non-inclusive. Let's have a look at this. If we now refresh here our application, we're going to see that only the indexes 0 and 1 from our courses array were included, and index 2 was not included as expected. Besides the slice pipe, there are a couple of other built-in pipes for handling JavaScript objects and arrays. One pipe that is very useful for debugging purposes is the JSON pipe. Let's take, for example, here our courses array and apply it the JSON pipe. So if we refresh here the application, we can see that the courses array is being printed out to the screen. So this is very useful for debugging, for confirming that a given member variable contains the data that we expect. Another pipe that is quite useful for handling objects is the key value pipe. In order to see the key value pipe in action, let's create here a course object that is going to be the first element of the courses array. So this is not an array, this is a JavaScript object. The key value pipe is very useful for iterating through the properties of this object. Let's see this in action. Let's quickly print out the properties of the course object to the screen. So we are going to create here a loop. We are going to be using ng4 and we are going to loop through all the properties of our object. The course object as it is currently not iterable, but if we apply it here the key value pipe, then we are going to get here an array of key values and we can loop through that with ng4. So let's call each of the key value pairs a pair. We are then going to iterate over the array of key value pairs by using the let of syntax. And here inside this ng4 loop, we are going to get here our key value pair. You can print it to the screen in the following way. We are going to first start by printing out the pair key, and we can already see that here on the screen. We can see that we have here printed out the names of the course object properties, and we can also print out the value. So we are going to separate the value here with a colon, and we are going to access the value, and we're going to print it out to the screen. So as we refresh our application, we're going to see that we have here the multiple property values of the course object. And with this, you now have a good overview on all the built-in Angular pipes. Next, we are going to start to introduce some of the more advanced features of Angular core. We are going to start with local template querying with the viewChild decorator. This is coming right up in the next lesson.